what it is.
What's up?
Got your person in the car. I actually saw that video. I think somebody tagged us on that video recently.
Which one?
With the lady, like where it comes from. Where the intro comes from.
Yes, I saw that.
Pop culture is a very weird thing.
I was like, wow, we've been doing this for so long.
We actually have.
Yeah.
We reached 100,000 streams recently, which is wild for
Thanks,
our
guys.
small community.
Yeah, and so quickly. I'm like, whoa. I've been looking at the numbers, the latest season.
People are actually listening quite a lot. Not that we're driven by the numbers or anything of that nature, but it's quite cool to see that people are actually listening and engaging.
And there are new people coming in. Like, I thought it was just, we were going to, just stick to our little circle of listeners and whatnot. But I've been seeing just some new people, some new faces. I'm like, wow, okay, guys. Welcome.
Well, my name is Sinisipo.
And I am Misha.
And we are the Sisterhood of the Traveling Goer.
Yes.
How have you been?
I have been... I was saying, I don't know if I've definitely been saying tired this whole time. And I feel like we need to talk about it. What is going on?
What is making us
Why
tired?
Are we so tired, guys. It's just been one quarter. All of us are talking about it. Everybody's complaining about what's going on.
It's like, why is the year end fatigue in Q1?
I'm literally...
We're in Q2 now, eh?
Yeah. We are in Q2. By the time it's Friday, I literally want to sleep my entire life away.
It's so weird because I feel like when Friday comes, it's like, oh, okay, now my life begins.
Yeah, now my life begins.
And
but
I'm
so
also tired. But the things that bring me so much joy, I can do so much more of.
Yeah.
And it sucks that I have to do them so tired.
Right?
And I'm not happy with that.
I'm not happy with that. This is why I love a 4-day week. A 4-day weekend.
Yeah, we were treated really nicely last weekend with Easter.
It was such a good time. I at least got to get some rest. Hung out with the family. But yeah, I'm good. Otherwise, just tired. I'm confused. I mean, I suppose the state
I'm also
of the
feeling
world,
a lot of confusion.
The state of the world, I suppose, is also just not great. So that's probably contributing as well. I think to the exhaustion.
And there's no avoiding it.
Yeah. And we are knee deep in a recession. Hey. We are in I think I have to keep reminding myself that every time I remember, why are we working as hard as we are? But the salary
feels so little,
but
it's not stretching.
It's not stretching. So we are in a recession. So whatever it is that maybe you feel like you're imagining, you're not. I think we should put each other at ease around the things that are happening in the world. It's easy, especially now, to kind of want to look away because you just kind of don't want to face the stuff. It sucks.
It's very difficult to look away.
Exactly.
It's literally in our faces everywhere, and it's affecting us all.
100%. But I think as well, sometimes when we are kind of sort of getting overwhelmed and we're kind of getting worked up, it's good to gather the facts. What are the facts?
Yes, that is not a you problem.
Yeah,
it's not isolated to you.
Yeah,
what you're feeling when the world is falling apart is very, very rational.
Yeah,
it's a rational reaction to fuckery.
Yeah,
because this is fuckery.
Listen,
on the grandest scale,
I've had to ground myself with that to be like, oh yeah, yes.
This is why I am feeling like this.
Precisely. How are you doing?
I'm feeling like this. I'm feeling like this.
Yeah,
and I'm feeling so much of like this.
Yeah.
Man, I don't even think tired
doesn't explain it.
It doesn't, because it feels like a constant state of being. So it doesn't feel like the other.
It's the default at this point.
Yeah, and I'm just asking myself so many questions about what I'm doing with my life, where I am with it, and
what can I show for all of this exhaustion?
Yes.
And is that even a good thought to have?
Literally.
Oh my word.
It's like, why am I exhausting myself?
Yeah.
What is at the end of this? Is there an end to it? So that's how I'm feeling. It's very existential. Asking myself a lot of questions. I think when you said confused, I really resonate with that.
Yeah.
Which sort of goes into what we're speaking about today.
Yes.
What is the benefit of remaining in spaces that we feel like we don't belong in?
Yeah.
That we feel like are tiring us or exhausting us or are below us. And I think I'll make the example of, we often speak about existing in a particular way on the internet, and you spoke about the recession that we're in, and it sort of reminds me of the regression that we're also experiencing in terms of public thought, and the information that we're sharing and the way that we're creating and consuming content as human beings. And we were having a lengthy conversation about how you sort of find people or ourselves continuing to exist in spaces that we know don't serve us anymore. And obviously it's layered, because some spaces you need to be in because you benefit from being in them in a specific way. For instance, a job, financially you need it for security, all of that. But what we mainly wanted to speak about was relationships, and social spaces as well. So,
which is something I feel like our peers especially, I don't want to say struggle with, but
I think we
all do. I think we are sitting, especially those of us who are in our early 30s, we definitely are sitting in a very liminal sort of space where, you know, we've been occupying these spaces for many years. And you know, these are the spaces we've always been in and our friends are in. But, you know, now there's newer and newer faces and younger faces.
Yes.
And, you know, we go there and, you know, there's this almost like collective shame
of being in that space still.
Being in that space.
I think that's literally what I felt.
Why are we still here?
That's what I felt when I still had a Twitter account, where I was like, I don't respect most of the people in the space in terms of how they engage with what I'm putting out there. Therefore, why would I continue to exist in a space where I don't see the people? Like, what does that say about me? Because every single engagement that I have with those people will not be in good faith because I don't respect them.
And you can't live like that.
And I feel that we often do that even in like relationships or in like friendship circles, where we find ourselves outgrowing. I think it goes back to the conversation that we had previously. Where we find ourselves outgrowing certain friendships or relationships. And instead of being honest about what we're feeling about the friendship or relationship, we start to look down on the place that we can't pull ourselves away or out of. And then what does it mean for you to remain in a space
that you look down
on? So I think that's kind of like what we wanted to speak about today.
That's a good topic.
What does it mean for you to continue to exist in a space that you look down on?
I can say it doesn't. It definitely doesn't feel good, for sure. I mean, I think. Look, I love a complaining. Okay.
If it is a party of complaining,
I will complain. I'll be there. I love to complain, but I think it gets to a point, as with everything. And
because the dynamic has died.
Exactly. Like you know what I mean? Exactly. That sort of, your mind is sort of in two places. You're like, okay, I'm here because I need to be here. Or I'm here because this is my social whatever. This is very.
But your existence in the space also sustains the space. It sustains its existence.
Exactly.
And if you think so low of it and you're a participant in it,
I think
what's happening?
I'm very drastic whenever I feel those kind of things. I kind of just sort of stop altogether, because I don't like the feeling of that, like being somewhere I am actively complaining about, because truly and honestly, the very rational question to follow up with after you hear that, granted, yes, like we vent and all of that, but after a while it's like, okay, but why are you there? Why are you there?
What does this do for you? Like,
exactly.
I always think about,
and what is also perpetually complaining about it doing for you,
to you and your psyche.
Exactly.
Yes.
Are you trying to further an agenda? Are you trying to cope? Like, what are you trying to do? You know?
Yeah. I was about to say, I just always think about instances where people feel above a space, but still remain in the space. And the way they treat those who still value the space within the space. Because sometimes it feels like you're not brave enough to venture into other spaces that will meet you where you are.
Yeah.
But you want the people who are still enjoying that space to feel the feelings that you feel about it. Kind of like what you're saying about an agenda.
Yeah.
So instead of me being like, actually, I don't like this place.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. It's not for me. I now want to gather like other troops so that I can get the courage once they all see it.
Yeah.
When it's like, that's not necessary in all situations.
Yeah.
And I feel this happens a lot in like friendships where we will see something within the friendship dynamic or somebody's moving in a certain way. And instead of me being like, actually, I don't like this, or calling it out, I'm going to start speaking to Misha about it. I'm going to start speaking to another friend, another friend.
Knee deep in that situation.
Rallying the troops.
It's so funny.
And then we isolate that person together. And it's like, I find that very cowardly.
Definitely. Literally knee deep in that situation. Where, you know, another friend noticed something about another friend. And, you know, they came to me and they were like, I've been holding on to this for a while, but like, have you noticed this? I think something had happened, and they felt quite disrespected. You know, they didn't feel, you know,
considered.
Yeah, they didn't feel considered, and you know, all of that. And they came to me, and then they, you know, to tell me about the situation. I was like, yeah, listen, the situation actually is what you think it is. And then I think that's when they kind of felt sort of open to be like, okay, but actually, there have been instances like X, Y, and Z. I was like, oh, actually, yeah, same. Where we now realize like, we are dealing with, you know, this type of, you know, person or this type of, you know, situation. And I mean, I think on her end, it was definitely a thing of, I want to speak to her and actually formally end the relationship because, you know, that is the right thing to do. But I think, you know, life has gotten quite busy and, you know, things have gotten quite hectic that, you know, she hasn't really had the chance. And I think the longer that is going, the more it sort
adds
of
on.
That kind of situation. I think it helps that it's just the two of us. But, you know,
if there were more people, it would be spiraling.
It would have been a whole group chat. Like that situation.
That other person would be removed from the group chat, and then the rest, not removed. A new chat would be created without that person.
Precisely. And I think as you were talking, I was like, oh, actually, that is that situation. And honestly, even on my end, I was like, because I was like, oh, as a result of this, I'm like,
I feel weird about this person too.
Because I then also found out, you know, stuff pertaining to me that I had no idea about. That, you know, that
and
she
actually,
was also,
if there's a friendship, and we spoke about this, the individual friendships and stuff. There should be stuff pertaining to you that you don't know about.
Exactly.
That other people know about because they have different relationships and not like malicious stuff.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it was malicious.
Obviously, they're going to bring all the malicious stuff.
It
was
a lie about me.
Was it a big ass lie?
Like,
I hate a lie about me.
One of those like a come on.
I hate a lie about me.
Like a come on, dog. Like, come on.
I can't stand a lie.
It was one of those those lies. And I was like, dude, I can't stand a lie about me, bro. Because you can just ask.
If you want to see the worst of me, lie about me.
That was literally
because I say some outrageous things.
I was literally the case. I was like, you know what? I just, this is, my energy is so, you know, when your energy is just depleted, because I was like, I hate a lie.
I get
and there was
annoyed.
No point. There was genuinely no point. So it's literally that kind of situation where I think it's so easy to just be like, you know what? Maybe I should just ice this person out. But it's like, no.
Maybe I should actually speak about this with this person.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't know if there's necessarily an intention to resolve, but even if there wasn't, I think it's necessary for there to be that.
Okay.
To say, like,
this is a good example. So you've experienced some level of malice from this friend or from a friend.
Also, guys, like, not everyone lies about me. Like,
but a lot of people be lying about
you guys
us.
Actually, like, they're always lying about. Guys, they do.
I get upset because I find myself to be a very creative person
Yeah.
who really says some wild things. And when somebody lies about me, I'm like, I wouldn't
have said that.
I wouldn't have even said it like that.
Exactly. Maybe I would have cooked it a little bit different. Exactly. I would have cooked the lie a little bit. Give me a lie that I can respect is all I'm saying. You know, if you're gonna lie about me, I must go, oh,
that's a good one.
I like that too.
But anyway, we digress. So you have this situation where somebody has been malicious. And it involves you, and automatically that obviously changes the way you perceive the person.
Yeah, definitely.
Which changes the relationship dynamic completely, and it becomes negative to some degree.
Yeah.
Once someone does something malicious, you look at them like, come on, dog. Like, I don't respect you the same anymore.
Yeah.
But you still remain in a friendship with them without resolving the thing. And it's exactly what we're
talking about,
And then it adds on more negative feelings towards them.
Yeah. And I'm looking down on this person.
You start becoming the baddie after some time, because you the way I was thinking about it, the way
especially they're like completely unaware.
Yes. Then you become the villain because they don't know. And also maybe like in some cases the person doesn't know that they were actually being malicious. Like there's so many cases where
that lie was malicious.
Yes, that one is malicious. That one is clean malicious, ne? But there's so many cases where I don't know that I was being malicious. Like I could easily say, oh, like the way that your hair is growing out is actually so interesting.
Yes, and it's
or like so. Oh, that's quite cool or interesting. Whatever. But on that day, you're not having a great hair
exactly.
day.
And I'm like, oh, is she saying I've got a Rebecca Malope German cut? And there's nothing wrong with that hairstyle. Just by the way.
So you receive it very differently.
Yeah.
And you put it there in your little black book of Sinasipo's misdemeanors. And then I do something else and you're like, actually, this goes on one.
Yeah.
And you're now building a case against me that I know nothing about.
Yeah. I'm sitting with that she hates
everything
me.
that I say, you're like, this is a bit
which is also just nasty.
You start seeing me very differently and I lose the benefit of the doubt in your life, right? Because I'm now becoming this like deliberately malicious person, but you are fully aware of me being this person. You haven't brought it up to me.
That's why I'm like, it's nasty.
Is there not malice at the palace on your end?
Definitely. I definitely think so. I think without a doubt, I definitely feel that that's the case. There definitely is malice.
Because when you engage with me then...
I'm engaging with you in bad faith. Yes. Like I've colored every single interaction with that paint.
But I always wonder, obviously we've probably all been in the situation where we've been that person that's taken away the benefit of the doubt from somebody in our lives.
Yeah.
And we've also been the person that's on the receiving end of not getting the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And I think once you get to the point of realizing or seeing or acknowledging that, no, man, this person's not engaging with me in good faith.
Yeah.
I always wonder, like, have they been thinking that when I engage with them, I'm engaging from a bad place? Because I was just engaging like normally, like, and I think for us, it's such a huge thing because the relationships that we have with our friends, it's very much like we'll disagree about stuff and debate stuff and all of that. And then it's like, when
I'm not building a case.
When the friendship ends and you hear some of the things that people are saying, it's like, whoa.
And they're like, but dog, I thought we were just talking. And here you are talking about, and she, and that's like,
but there's times where I've known that, okay, I was malice at the palace. Like I was being malicious as fuck in that interaction because I thought they were being malicious because I was building a case
against them.
And I felt justified in the way that I was engaging, which is why I genuinely at some point was like, I cannot continue to exist on platforms where the key form of engagement is social political thought.
Yes. I think it's also why I back ghosting. I've said this before.
She always, and for this segment, we give Michelle the space to justify ghosting.
This is the time where ghosting, I think, is for the win.
But then,
because then you don't sit there and you're sitting there
and
all
you're
the time.
being gaslighted.
First of all, you're being gaslit, but also you're always sitting there. Now you're waiting. Okay,
they're gonna say some shit.
My case. what about that is good?
But
when
then
it
my
comes to
question
interacting with
is, how do we fix that behavior
Do
if
you
we're
want
never
to fix
open
it?
about it? I think there are some relationships where I would like to fix it, where I'd like to say, hey, I feel like you're not engaging with me in good faith. I had a friend call me out about that like a few years ago to be like, hey, I feel like every time you raise something, you're questioning me, or you're doubting this, or you're doubting like what I had said to you. And for me, it hit me as a shock, because I was like, no, I just genuinely would be referring to what we had spoken about before.
And which is quite a struggle for us, because people can read your your tone.
But I for me, guys, like my tone is always on. Like that's my problem.
That's my issue as
well. I'm hectic.
It's like in your face. So why would you read something else?
So no, but the thing is,
I get it, but like that.
No, but I understand how somebody can read it in another way, because
it
sometimes it feels a bit aggressive when I'm like, no, but friend, didn't you say they telling me this? And I'm like, no,
and
but friend.
To them, it's like, oh, you're going this, you.
Yes, and I'm like, no, but friend, didn't you say A, B, C, D? And they're like, well, in the moment, I thought we were still engaging in conversation. Like, oh, okay, you changed your perspective. Okay, cool.
Yes,
and for me, it's not like, oh, I'm catching you out. But it felt like it. So, and I completely understand how it can, because I'm very animated and all of that. So a friend of mine, which I think shows that they value our relationship, called me out and was like, friend, I didn't like it like a few months ago when I was speaking about this, and you questioned me in this way.
Like, just as much as I'm for ghosting, I'm absolutely for
yes. And I was like, okay,
where it's valued, because at the end of the day, one, you are able to iron out a misunderstanding. They're able to understand you better.
Yes.
And then you guys become closer as well. Like, I was even speaking to Akira about that, where I was like, you know what? Shout out disagreements and arguments, especially with the people you want in your life with.
Yes.
Because the other side of that is really better understanding. It's quite literally like a tangible closeness.
Yes, and it's also what sensitivity do certain situations and conversations need, right?
Moving forward,
how do I ensure that this person is telling me something about them that they feel strongly about? Yes, I'm not saying I'm going to change who I am completely, but I do need to be a little bit more considerate in terms of how I'm responding and how I'm engaging with them. And I think that was a great thing for me to experience, because now sometimes I do take the time to be like,
like let me wait,
or let me wait and see, what does this person want from this engagement that we're having. And also, I'm really an active listener, so I'm there like, and to some people that's you interrupting or whatever. I remember once somebody said about our conversations as well, we were like, can you guys stop interrupting each other? Like, we got ADHD. Like,
exactly.
we don't see it as that. It doesn't feel like that.
Good time. And at the end of the day, we circle back.
Doesn't feel like that in the conversation.
Take notes if you must.
But some people take great offense to that. So that was, to me, a learning moment where somebody actually called me out instead of starting to look down on me and in terms of the relationship that we had. And I thought, maybe this is something that I should extend to others as well.
No, I mean, that's why I think I do value kind of having that sit down and kind of just saying like, listen, especially where you value this person. Whether or not, I think even there, and I think maybe that can be a topic in and of itself, because I even think around value, where it's like, okay, do you want to keep this friendship? Do you not want to keep this friendship? Therefore, is the process okay? Because I want to keep it, I'm gonna have this conversation. Because I don't want to keep it, I won't. And I was just thinking about that needs to be a topic in and of itself.
It is a topic of itself, but I think what's most important there is acknowledging that the conversation has some level of emotional labor.
Exactly.
And how willing are you to exert yourself in the service of this thing? Because sometimes it's like, I don't want to keep this relationship, but I want this person to know. So that they can maybe think about it and change in the future.
Even if I'm
not a part of that, I don't benefit from it, but there are certain necessities that that we need to express, like,
Yeah.
and we need to start being responsible
Yes.
for those things.
Yeah.
So that you don't leave someone and then they think, I absolutely did nothing.
Exactly.
Because there's too many people walking around thinking they did absolutely nothing.
Listen, and it's like, okay, you just told me about 10 people that left in the exact same way. And you're going, oh, you know what?
Because,
and it's like,
because
all those don't say.
But also all those 10 people do that person a disservice by just going around speaking there.
Because they don't know that.
And not bringing it up. How is that person supposed to change their behavior
whatever
if you're not
it is
telling
I'm
them?
saying about that other person, to you, I've said it to that person. Because what's the value? Okay, what's the value?
Literally
in
all of this, or in
exactly. There really isn't. And I mean, we've been speaking around, sort of friendships and relationships, but spaces. I think for
this
us,
is a big one.
That's a big one. One that's like very obvious. Obviously, groove is such a big one. And especially the different types. Obviously, there's so many like
it's actually so interesting.
And one that I've really witnessed a lot is, going to a certain groove, and so many people are just like, oh my god,
it's not the same anymore.
Oh my god, why am I here? And at times, I have contributed to that, but I think where I differentiate myself from the other people,
where I'm the better coffee,
the special snowflake, is obviously I offboarded myself from groove, quite a while ago, to sort of do other stuff.
It's been like 2 years.
It's been a while.
Actually, I'm lying. It's been like
it's been longer than that.
Yeah, it's been longer.
Like, as in consistently doing it, like
I'm grooving, I'm there, I'm in the pictures,
every month.
I'm on the guest list.
Yeah, no. That it's been many years of that since I last did that.
Yo, we used to groove,
dude. Like, I don't think about where now. Oh no, could never be.
But it's quite interesting, right? Because I was thinking about it, like, are we being lazy in finding the spaces that we can feel like we belong
I think absolutely.
from a groove perspective without feeling like, I've outgrown this, or
I think we're being lazy.
Everyone is so young. I think
I genuinely think we're being lazy. Go out there and find what you like. Genuinely, for me, that's really what helped. Like
because also the space now belongs to other people.
Exactly,
the space belongs to other people. Like sometimes
it doesn't need to die for me to leave it.
Yes,
or for me to outgrow it. Yeah, sometimes I just need to give other people spaces, and I just need to go
instead of being miserable in the space.
Instead of being miserable in that space, you are out here old as hell, just stanking up the place with your attitude. Just leave, please.
I actually saw something quite wild recently.
Just, went off.
Your stomach did it make a sound? Yeah, it's the 30s.
Anyway,
are you hungry?
Yes, I am. I got hungry.
Don't worry, guys. I'll feed her. I'll feed her after this. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yes,
I'll get her some food after this.
We eat. Yes. But yeah, it's so common. And I genuinely think we're being lazy. I really think it's that. I feel like even just from a groove perspective, there is something that is
appropriate for what you want. 100%. And it doesn't have to be in a category by age or whatever. It's like you can find something that appeals to you instead of sticking around in a space and talking down on it.
Literally.
Because you, unfortunately, are then the loser in the situation.
You are the outlier. It's you alone.
And you're trying to stink up the whole place for everyone. And it's like,
no,
why?
No, guys. And it's like, no. I think the times where I've done it, I'm like, no, man. Dude,
you don't feel good about yourself.
Yes,
like,
I don't feel
why
good.
Did I go then if I was literally
I was feeling that way?
Look down on people for how they were behaving in the space.
And especially if I'm not focusing on, okay, yes, maybe this is a space I may have outgrown, but I have been able to be around my friends in this way, that we haven't been able to do in a bit, that we sometimes need. Like sometimes you just need to
shake your ass.
You shake your ass, with your friends. Sometimes you just need, to just shout out loud and just release your inhibitions. What is it?
Yes.
Inhibitions. That. And yeah, like at least take that away from the experience. But if you go and the experience still is no, like, oh my god,
no, it's done. Like, that was the last one that I'll ever go to. Like,
and then you still show up to the next one,
de-influencing everyone. It's quite interesting. But I also think it's tied to this culture of, like, hypercritical people. You will never find them being like hypercritical in a positive, like, of the positive of the things that they actually do, like, or expressing, giving the same energy to the things that they enjoy.
They can't tell you what they enjoy.
They'll never tell you what they like.
List it.
Everything is just like, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this. This is not great quality. But the things they love, you will hear so little about that. And
it's just like, I think also when you are sort of, putting that out there as much as you are you seeking permission? Are you seeking a collective, you know what, we're all going to do that together?
Hey, dog, it's easy to be a hater, like a collective hater.
But I'm also just like, it's also...
There are people who demonstrate their taste and, like, degree of or ability to see quality based on just speaking about what they don't like.
And it's just like,
and they think they are...
I look down on that.
The most intelligent people. I look down on it as well, because I'm like, give the same energy to the things that bring you joy.
Exactly. You're miserable.
Why must we always hear about what you don't like? You yucking people's yums all the time. Like, we've never seen you cheer
like, the
for
constructive
anything.
Stuff, the things that are really take capitalism. Patriarchy, not those kind of things. It's always nonsense. And it's just like, no, guys, you cannot live like that.
But also, why are you a part of it? Why are you always there? Witnessing the things that you don't like, talking about how much...
Ever complaining.
Yeah, talking about people's fits in a negative way, talking about...
And it's so
music,
normalized.
Because we have the critic that never flippin' creates anything has been given too much of a voice in society. Like, what?
And it's just I think it baffles me just how I don't think it was this normal.
No, but I think also the internet, and also the fact that there are people whose creative expression is through what they put out online, or reviewing other people's content or lives online. So it's just a completely weird dynamic that our brains wouldn't have fathomed 5-10 years ago.
It just feels, I think it's at that point where it's at its peak, where it's happening so much that it's like, guys,
because before you had to buy like a magazine in order to be able to read those
hypercritical, like,
yes,
and
or watch like Joan Rivers or whatever, deliberately sit down and what. But now it's hitting us everywhere.
On all ends.
I saw the reaction to Coco's photo shoot. I'm like, this is a 20-something-year-old girl, 22, 23.
A tennis player. What is she doing
achieved
with
so much,
slick back?
And you are critiquing her hair, her face on this level, acting and being dishonest.
Thing about herself,
being dishonest, right? Because many people act like, oh, we're for the natural movement, this, oh, we're anti-racism, and misogyny,
and let black women do whatever they want,
practice it in their critique, and then they say, oh no, we're critiquing the designers, the photographers, but the subject. Well, it gets to a point where the subject says,
happened,
I'm not having a good time with your comments.
Yeah, it was. She was commenting on a clip from the Cutting Room Floor podcast where they were critiquing the Annie Leibovitz photo shoot, and it was just like, I think it was so jarring because it came just after there was this like many day long discussion around, we need to be honest about how we view natural hair and wearing wigs and all of these things. And it was like a whole rah-rah and let black women do whatever they want. And then it was like this person or people then started making these comments, and it's just like, but guys, this is not okay. Especially after we just had this conversation. What is not clicking? I think it's also just that thing where it's like
because that conversation was clearly not an engagement in good faith
at all.
If when we then have the opportunity to practice the theory, we're failing to practice it, then it means all this engagement that we're doing is not in good faith.
And the wild
it's just one-upping each other and like seeing who's the loudest and who can project themselves to be the rightest.
The wild part is as well, logic completely it goes completely out the door. Completely. Because it's like, okay, you can see that she's very much on the court. She's dressed, very much tennis, like. And surely, she's been playing or she has played. Logic surely should say that if you've slicked your hair all the way back with all that product, because guess what? Our natural hair needs a ton of product. Mine definitely does.
Even
You're not
if
even
it
thinking
wasn't
about
that case of post this, post that, and she deliberately chose to look like that, there should be a world where that is acceptable.
I think for me, it's the lack of logic. The lack of logic is just what floors me. I definitely agree with you, but just applying that base level logic to say like, maybe somebody who would be doing that wouldn't want to have, so much product on. Maybe that isn't even being applied. I think that's why we are under spells. Like it can only be that, guys. We are under spells because there's no way.
No, I also think it's a matter of a lack of courage.
Yeah.
A lack of courage because when certain people normalize what you are too insecure to embrace, you want them to stop because you don't want what they're normalizing to be the norm.
Yeah. And the wild
that is, for me, we'll always go back to that.
The wild part is you can't tell them that. Well, you can. You can't tell them like, listen, I know what you're doing. You are literally insecure. And now you're making it my problem. You can't. Because they'll want to kill you too.
I will
tell you personally. Because listen, you look like a damn fool.
It's not my problem.
Yeah,
it's not my problem. Like how you feel or... It goes back to that thing we always say about people who cringe and all of that. It's all got to do with them.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing that we're speaking about today in terms of existing in a space or continuing to keep yourself in a space that you feel like you're above.
Yeah.
It's all got to do with you.
Even that romantic relationship that you are talking down on, you feel you are above.
I saw all these articles. There was that one about the boyfriend. Is it embarrassing to have a boyfriend and all of that? I'm like, girls, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we centering these men so much in our lives that like they are actively part of like our identities?
Yeah.
Why?
There is genuinely no need. Because also it doesn't look nice for you to be in a relationship that you are talking down on, that you feel you are above. It's just like, girl, why are you in it?
Then what do you think about yourself?
Break
if
up
you're
with
going to
him.
stay in that space, like how little do you think of yourself if that's what you're willing to continue to embrace and enable to some certain degree? We're not speaking about abusive situations or anything of that nature, but so many people will be like, saw the loser in him, but...
what did you stay for? If you're not a supposed loser, why are you still there?
And we know like there's certain situations.
Yeah.
That's why I keep saying it because I don't want anyone to be like, you guys are not extending grace. You girls know what we're talking about. You know what specific things we're talking about. So let's not pretend.
Exactly, please. So it's just
I also wanted to extend this to the digital space. I often see
definitely
a very weird thing. I think I spend a lot of time on TikTok because I've been journaling my running journey there. And I will see so many interesting things. The one is the ladies who are married to men who they feel are not domesticated, who they feel weaponize incompetence and all that. And they'll literally be there speaking about this.
Yeah, to manufacture outrage that they can't even.
And then when the outrage comes, they then defend because they then obviously feel some pressure. I would love to understand.
She's getting a kick. She's getting a kick out of it.
So do you think it's a matter of her feeling like all these people in the comments are telling him the things that I can't tell him.
Yeah.
And then I still need to come out and defend him because as much as I want him to know these things, I'm not ready to say them myself or I'm not ready to go. So that's the one weird one, right? And then number 2 is the one where you find people who, and I'm sorry if this is going to come off as ageist or whatever, but you'll find really well-established women of color putting their heads in conversations and taking up space that I'm like, just let the young, let the youngins lead this one.
Yeah.
Like let the youngins take up space about this one.
Yeah.
For instance, there was
natural hair one, I let it be because I was like, listen, guys,
you've probably had this conversation so many times. They've been
I've been natural for a million years. So you know what?
You've witnessed this, you've been a part of this chat, you know, but you will find established women
still wanting to
taking up space in a very interesting way where it's like, I'll make an example of, but it I actually won't make the example because it will be very easy to be like, but it's just odd because they want to take up space in that space, right? And they want to be the leading voice. You can see it very clearly.
But they also still want to be that
perceived
elder.
as, but also perceived as one of the girlies. But the things they'll be saying will be clearly demonstrating that they're saying, I'm above you girlies. Because they'll use terms like, you must remember that when we did XYZ years ago, we yada yada. And then it's like, why are you? Because if you had done it so well, this conversation wouldn't be happening right now. Yeah. Because that's another thing that we need to acknowledge. That like, even in social discourse, there are clearly some things that we didn't iron out as well as we thought we did.
And they can never be. They can never be, guys.
So let's give other people a space.
Says that,
But let's give other people a space to tussle and try figure it out for what's relevant for their generation or whatever. So that's the second one where I'm like, you actually don't belong in the space. You're looking down on the people within the space because you're using very authoritative terms that suggest that the way that they're thinking about it is juvenile compared to how you had considered it before, and there's no way that they're going to crack it the way that you have. I don't know if I'm the only one that picks this up. But
I pick up on those
It's
tones.
very, very weird. And then number 3, there's the one where people are just flexing on us. Like just outright materialistic flexing. And I'm like, go play
wild.
Go play with your age mates then, or your big boy or big girl mates.
Or live out these supposed interests of yours. No, but live out these supposed interests.
They have the need to stunt on someone, right?
To show you don't have interests. You don't have
they clearly feel the need to stunt on someone. But it also comes as like this weird advice or like help, like, oh yeah, you shouldn't be doing this. We spoke about it briefly that like, oh, like ladies, you shouldn't be carrying a certain bag at a certain age, or you should be using this.
Oh, guys,
but it's like these people actually look down on the other people in the space, but they still need them as their audience because it does something for their ego.
Why do you want an audience of people you look down on, that you don't respect, that you need that audience to feel nasty about themselves? I don't know, guys. No, I cannot
imagine. See the lady about the head.
Please, because personally, I cannot imagine, having this community that we've built up, and it's made up of women who aren't, at the very least, even trying to at least have these kind of conversations. It brings me great joy when people are like, oh my God, I had this thought, or like I was thinking about it. Oh, you guys really got me. That's so dope. Not you
imagine
guys
coming here
bad.
and talking down on everyone.
Oh, you guys gagged us. Oh no, oh my God. Like, I want to hear the other side too.
But this is happening, dog.
But it happens.
This
and it's
is
so
happening.
Normal.
This is happening.
So normal. People are making bags.
But I think what's
I'm here.
really important to speak about is like, when you catch yourself doing that.
How do you feel? What do you do?
Dog, we've spoken about it so much. Yeah. There was a time where clapback culture was such a hectic thing. And there were some people who were actually, like, what word can I use? Who we had enough presence to see it for what it was.
Yes, yeah.
And at the time, we
Shout
weren't
out.
seeing it for what it was.
Yeah.
Because that was literally fueling your own ego.
Yes.
I can personally say.
Yeah.
Making you feel good about yourself
absolutely,
to humiliate and make someone else feel bad, even if they're wrong.
Yeah.
Even if they're wrong.
Yeah.
But like, what does that say about you? I think we've had so many conversations about this. And what does that feeling of joy that comes from humiliating someone say about you?
Yeah,
and then
the
now,
bigger sense of in the bigger scheme. Yeah.
Yes, and if there's this regression in terms of how people are engaging online and you're doing so much of that, then what then incentivizes you as a person and what makes you feel good and what is that going to extend to?
Yeah.
Right? Which is why I was like, I can't continue to exist in this space because I don't respect a majority of the people here.
Yeah.
And I can't engage with them in good faith. And I don't want to spend so much of my time engaging with people in bad faith or being calculating or like reading into things a million times. So I know for a fact that I had to pull myself away.
Yeah.
And also it's part of the reason why I wouldn't create content where I am specifically speaking about socioeconomic issues or anything that I previously used to discuss on an open forum like that, because I just know that we're not at a space in the world where we can actually engage in good faith about those things. And I respect the people who are doing it and who are creating or trying to create a space where they can do it in a healthy way. But for me right now, I'm like, there's no way, because I have so little respect for people.
That's why
right now.
I've really kept my socials locked, and it's literally focused on even my algorithm. I have tailored it and built it around what I like. Obviously there will be a few people in there, but even then, like naturally, like, curated.
I think the funniest thing,
I'll be muting, I'll be, all of these things. I don't want to see
I experienced. What people have to say. What I used to find really funny when I was on Twitter was when we've spoken about this multiple times, that like different things will manifest in our online behavior, right? So I might be going through the most and then I'm going to start whiling in terms of how I'm communicating online.
Many such
and everybody
cases.
on the time, everyone that's a mutual of mine is like, what's happening with so-and-so or whatever. And you like subtweet the thing. And then we're all like mutually like speaking about this person and they can see that we're speaking about them. And it's such a weird dynamic. And I'm like...
Very, very weird. I think it was like that and like the people who always used to, we've spoken about this as well, but the people who are very much like, oh, you used to be like this online and now you think and it's like, you are literally having a tantrum. Throwing a tantrum right now. You're literally throwing a tantrum because someone else decided to face their shadow
and progress.
You are still very much struggling. You are experiencing a push and pull. And I, in fact, feel very bad for you. But also, you just like, you're making a lot of noise.
Externalizing it.
You're making a lot of noise. Like, those were always my favorite people. And I think people like that still kind of exist. And if you do,
look within.
Go see that lady.
Take some time to look within.
Go see that lady. Because if the age,
isn't helping. But I just found, I always found that quite interesting, and I'm sure it's something that still exists.
Like, I think when it comes to digital spaces, to keep yourself from doing those things, you really have to make it about yourself and the things that you like, despite the other people around you. Like, I think for the longest time, we've kind of looked at our pages as these spaces for other people to experience us and not so much about us experiencing the space.
Yes, or creatively experiencing, creatively expressing ourselves within a space, which it's so interesting. Like, I'd always created spaces where it was about my thoughts, and now being very like activity based is such a different experience because it's so positive compared to if I was sharing thoughts.
Oh no.
And maybe my thoughts are messed up.
Well, I mean,
I have to reckon with that. Like maybe my thoughts I share my thoughts here, but this is like a good community and all of that.
We're breaking out now.
Yeah, we don't have all these other people listening. Maybe we do.
I hope not.
But I feel like it's very different to if I was sitting there on TikTok sharing my thoughts.
Yeah. They would have called you all sorts of
would be received.
All sorts of slurs by now.
I'm like, I don't have the appetite for that because I will outslur you.
Exactly. This is my
and chat. I don't want to do that.
That's also really why my stuff is private, because I also don't want to interact with the rest of you. Hey, because I know myself, guys. It has nothing to do with my feelings. No, I'm gonna be happy. While I'm
have you? We've spoken quite a lot about how we exist in these spaces and all that. But have you ever, outside of the situation that you shared now, have you ever felt like you can tell someone's outgrowing you?
No. That someone is outgrowing me.
Yeah.
No. I think because I feel like I'm always growing. There's always something. I'm always doing something new. I'm always discovering something else. I've never felt someone else outgrowing me. And I suppose as well, they've never expressed that. So in my head, perhaps, in my head, perhaps there is that thing of, I don't know if that's such a thing. I mean, I think the people who'd probably outgrow me are married people.
It's like a systemic outgrow.
It's like a systemic outgrow. But even then, my friends have sense, We've got married friends and they're. But I don't know if I've outgrown. I don't know.
I think I've experienced it before. I think it wasn't necessarily a full outgrow, but I think I had a period in my relationship with my sister where I felt like she was outgrowing the younger sister, older sister dynamic, and we were transitioning into me needing to see her as an adult and her needing to see me as a collaborator instead of somebody that she can depend on in a very younger sister, older sister kind of way. And that came with quite a bit of a challenge in terms of us finding our feet. So I think when I look back at that, I go back and I was like, there was so much resistance because she was outgrowing me, and I don't think we could have both put it in words at that moment.
Yeah, that was the case.
Yeah, so when I look back, I'm like, oh, that's what was happening. It was like our relationship actually changing its form, but because we're related, we sort of couldn't completely be separated or divorced from each other to the point where we didn't have the space for a decent repair. Which
and
is
not to say someone wouldn't outgrow me. I think they definitely could.
Yeah. But sometimes you probably won't feel it because it's like, oh, okay, they haven't said anything, or there isn't the repair isn't 100% necessary. So it's like, okay, whatever. But I think that's where I have one clear example where our relationship was transitioning. I think when
you put it like that, that sort of transition from a certain type of relationship to a bit more of a, I think, definitely. I think I think in my relationship with Akira, definitely that was the case, sort of outgrowing that relationship where we related to one another in the sense where we were a sort of squad, but it was more now one on one. I think that definitely is something,
because I think that's actually leaving a space, right, or a frame that contextualized your relationship. But risking the chance of losing what you know it to be. Because it gets to a point where sometimes when there's conflict, you're looking down on each other like, I can't believe this person is like this, and I can't believe this person would do this.
And also due to that squad dynamic, obviously there are then notions that have been created out of that dynamic or because of that dynamic, and you kind of have to outgrow those as well.
Definitely,
to say,
because in a family situation, for instance, you can actually look down on your family structure
100%.
and still be a part of it and not have the opportunity to move out of it or run away from it. So if you don't resolve that, then you're in hell. Because I have, Yeah, I had a moment. You have a time as a young Black woman, and you're figuring things out, and you're like, these generational curses, and my family is like this, and I'm so much better in this and that way. And then you realize that if you're so much better, you can actively work on fixing this.
How about it?
And I think that's where I'd probably like to end off in terms of the spaces that we're in, that we feel we are better than, or the people that we feel we are better. And we'll all act like, nah, I don't think I'm better.
No, we do.
Girl,
we do.
You know that thing where somebody opens their mouth and you're already like, you need to decide. Do you want to fix the space? Do you want to leave the space? Do you want to give people the opportunity to present themselves better in the space?
Especially in that familial situation. I think for me, it was definitely giving people the chance to be themselves. Like outside of how I've experienced them, outside of their notions, letting them talk.
And letting the narrative that you have in your head
let
die if it's necessary for it to die, because sometimes it's the narrative that's making us look down on the people in the spaces that we
and in family settings especially. I mean, you're inheriting narratives. You are, there's this narrative that's gone down.
There's a dynamic between so and so and so and so, and you witnessing it and experiencing it, and how it makes you think of the other person. So I think I'd close off with saying, if you think you are above it, then it should be easy for you to get through it.
How about it?
And work through it with the people that you think you are above, like in terms of you have thought about these things, you have a solution in your mind.
Sure.
Try to bring them along and see what happens.
How about it? Yeah. Well, that is another episode. Thank you very much. That is, we're ending it off on a bit of a hectic note. Let us know, please.
Yes.
Use all
I love the comment features. Like, I'm loving the comments.
You guys use them.
We've actually received quite a few submissions. So in the next few weeks, some of the episodes you'll be seeing will be coming from the submissions that people have sent.
We're going to sprinkle them around. We're not going to leave them till later.
Yes. We're definitely going to include them quite early. So please continue to comment, continue to engage, continue to let us know what you think. It's so important to us.
Please. Thank you very much. Comment, like, subscribe, share. Please subscribe. Also, especially on our YouTube, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're sitting on like 700 and something.
Well, I don't even know the numbers, but
so please hit subscribe so you know. On Thursdays when we do drop on YouTube, I know a lot of you really love watching on YouTube. We drop on Thursdays. Subscribe so you know.
We're always on every single Monday on Spotify and every other streaming audio platform. So that is us.
Yay, bye.